We went through all the expressions you showed me and orientations on psychology and morality, so that there's a common understanding of truth and psych well-being. We will now walk through each aspect of your reality. By doing this, we can put your mind in order, making the distinction between correct behavior and psych disorder. Together, evaluating your decisions and the decisions of your environment. Have a seat. To begin, let's start with addressing your psych and behavior patterns. Knowledge plays a big part in informed decision-making and role in society. To be naive, forgetful, problems making connections, communication problems, leads to unorthodox behaviors throughout your life. This dysfunction alone impacts how you see life and how you move. Your psyche is compromised when data is missing, thus altering your perception of truth and reality. Interpreting perceptions with a partially formed conscience, of missing knowledge, making decisions intuitively instead of intellectually. Your thoughts on right and wrong may conflict with moral standards because faith calls you to be a better person and not act on your feelings, an aspect of psych dysfunction that conflicts with world operations. You will be the black sheep everywhere you go as you follow intrusive thoughts instead of moral and ethical teachings. Let's talk about where your knowledge is at, because in some areas in your life you do well, while in others you don't, such as your ability to talk to me, your visual expression skills, and use of technology. Why is that?
I'm not sure. I thrive at things when I take an OCD approach to learning, obsessing over something even if it means neglecting other areas of my life. As I mentioned before, I easily forget what I do if my attention is diverted, so my solution was to zero in on one trajectory.
I see, so your mind is like a funnel, where you silence all noise and focus on one goal. However, this compromises your awareness of what's going on around you. Is that right?
That's exactly right. And when reality hits me all at once with expectations and evaluations, I stress and my mind can't process the heavy information. My only solution is to be a minimalist and maintain a childlike disposition.
That is definitely a handicap. Now that I understand how restrictive your mind is, I'll continue my teachings on knowledge. Upon learning, we will both identify a deeper issue with psych dysfunction. Knowledge, the fragile nature of understanding reality. Humanity depends on it in order to survive, function, thrive, and live with purpose. If knowledge is compromised, your psyche will be compromised, making irrational and illogical choices. However, regardless of one's knowledge, a person is called to love God and neighbor, living out the psyche role of a Christian. This means the more displaced your knowledge is, and the more judgmental the environment, the more suffering you'll endure. Evaluating your behavior instead of diagnosing your intellectual conditions. Now, how does a psychic dysfunction of compromised knowledge happen? A closed mind, a damaged mind, conditioning, neglect. It can stem from any of these, whichever it is, operating off of compromised data and behaving differently. Knowledge is so significant in influencing behaviors and direction that we'll need to continue this topic when we get back.